Alright, hello everyone, we are back with part number 13, I want to say, of our career mode. We are at the Hungaroring, we are at Hungary. It is a very exciting time to be alive, isn't it? A track I do not like at all, in both the game and in real life. It's probably one of my least favourite tracks on the calendar. I'm sure that's a very popular opinion between us all. As we're just going through our practice sessions for the time being, which we have 100% completed, so good job from us. So now going into qualifying, and first thing we have to do is change our MGUH because I didn't do it, so that's good by us. Now just putting on our setup as well. No real changes have to be made apart from putting down the fuel, putting on our lucky second set. And now we get to leave the pit lane. We're a little bit late out, but we're leaving the pit lane. Isn't that exciting, everyone? So now leaving the pit lane. Out on track for the first time this weekend. Just gets you all the more excited, doesn't it? Coming around the final corner to start our first qualifying lap. We have a Ferrari right behind us as well. Hopefully they're not going to impede us, which we don't. They've just come into the pit lane. So down towards turn 1. Do pretty good on the braking. Nice little kiss of the apex, open up DRS and amp time, could have gone a little bit wider maybe. So at the end of sector 1 we set 28.2, as we're now just going around turn 5. No, we're not, we're now going around turn whatever number that is. There's 56.4 in the middle sector. And coming around the final corner, it is a 1:19.22 flat, which sets up 4 tenths behind 17th place Axel Albon, and we are in 19th, now 20th, as we are leaving the pit lane for our second and our final lap in qualifying. And we're going to have to hurry up a little bit because that Haas you see coming down the main straight, that is on a flying lap, which is why we use a bit of DRS, why we've got the DRS open. That's why we're not caring about our fuel. We don't usually care about our fuel anyway. In qualifying for our final outlap, we want the car to be as light as possible. As we come out the final corner, slam open that DRS, and now what can we do? We've got a better exit out the final corner, so we're already a 10th up coming down towards turn 1. And we can find another extra 10th, lovely enough. Coming down towards turn 2, can we try and get that 10th back that we lost on the exit? We get a little bit on the curve, it helps with rotation just enough, so we actually do get a better exit out of turn 2. And now up the hill to complete sector 1. So 27.9, we've got about 3 tenths out of the first lap. Now coming down towards the chicane of 6, 7, no funny numbers please. Turn 8. Pretty alright. Turn 9, pretty alright again. It's pretty dead second sector. Just all these medium speed corners. Push the car straight to the limit, and now we're 7 tenths up. And we're barely faster than Gabriel Bortoletto in 18th, so it's looking like we're on for something good here. We're 8 tenths up for the time being. Around turn, I think that's turn 13, and now final turn 14. 7.5 tenths. What can we get out of the final corner? 7.5, nearly 8 tenths quicker, and that sets us 19th. I was hoping for an 18th. We saw that we were faster in the first 2 sectors than Gabriel Bortoletto, but take it away, Crofty.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of Formula One action. We're not expecting too many retirements at this circuit. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher, who made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around a lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Fernando Alonso and Antonelli, Piastri, Gasly, Tsunoda and Esteban Ocon, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Carlos Sainz and Lawson, Doohan, Albon, Gabriel Bortoleto and Jack Crawford.
So we got moved up to 18th place, Verschoor 20th because George Russell took a penalty.
Grid lineup. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Interesting. Pretty normal grid for the most part, in my opinion, at least. As we put in, we just overfueled the car by 2 laps. And we're doing a one-stop strategy. Starting on the mediums, going to hards. Is there any other drivers that are going to be touching the hards? Any soft tyres? As much as Hungaroring shreds soft tyres, there is 6 hard tyres, both Saubers, both Hasses, both Alpines. All other 8 teams, sorry. All other 8 teams choosing the mediums. It's only Alpine, Haas and the Saubers picking the hard tyres. So, pretty interesting strategy. Options there. Don't know if there'll be any 2 stops from the medium runners though. That is definitely a question mark. Crofty won't count here. And there we go, on board with us as we come around the penultimate corner. And soon the final corner. What can be made of this race? There's points on the horizon. There's a podium on the horizon. Can we get 2 wins in a row? He won at Spa, he wins at the Hungaroring. From 18th on the grid, it's going to be difficult. We're starting on the non-grippy side, as well as our teammate. There we see George Russell in last place. Took that engine penalty. Starting from last, slots into last place position. And now we're onto the grid here, as the 5 lights come up. And we are racing at Hungary. And it's a decent start from us. We've already jumped Gabriel Bortoleto on the hard tyres, and already wheel with Alexander Albon on the fellow medium tyres. Already up into 16th place, and we're trying to find a slot past Doohan and past Lawson as well. And we actually do make the place, and we're nearly making it 3-1 on Carlos Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg. But them 2 stay ahead of us. We're now Nico Hülkenberg 12th, Carlos Sainz 13th. Oh, we may be looking at an overtake on Carlos Sainz. We get boxed in by him and Nico Hülkenberg, and now Liam Lawson's on our inside for P14, but he can't do it on this occasion to come around turn 3. And now up the hill towards turn 4, anything else can be made here on Nico. We have to move out the way a lot slower than we were expecting, knowing that is a fast corner. And we end up going a little bit wide at turn 5, a lot wider than we would have wanted. And keep Lawson behind. On lap 2 now, we make a move down the inside of Nico Hülkenberg at turn 11, I believe that is. And now round the outside at turn 12, if I'm getting these corner numbers right. Hopefully I am. And round the final corner, what can we do on Nico Hülkenberg for the time being? Can we keep him behind? He gets a better exit out the final corner onto the main straight with wheel to wheel. And we're using all the ERS we can. And now Liam Lawson's onto our right hand side. And we managed to get ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, but what can the V-carb do to mess us up here? We do get ahead for the time being. He's going to try and stay in this fight for as long as he can, but he can't stay in it long enough. So that is P13 for us as we get through lap 3. And around turn 3 as well. We have to jump all the way to lap 7 for the next time we maybe look at a potential overtake. It's going to be down the inside of Carlos Sainz at turn 1. Can we keep the place, the man we were battling at the start of this race? Carlos Sainz gets back ahead, better exit out of turn 1, but now we're going down the inside at turn 2, and this time it looks like it will be P12 for certain. He's going on the inside line at turn 3, but we hold the outside line, and that is P12 for us, as we now come up the hill at turn 4. Esteban Ocon is the driver ahead to beat, and a lap later it looks like we're going to have that just like we did to Nico Hulkenberg, down at turn 11 or 12 or whatever goddamn number this corner is, and Ocon made it a lot easier for us than Nico Hulkenberg did. Still quite an easy race for the time being, just chipping away at the places. P11, lap 8 of 35, we could lap 9 in a couple of seconds time. At least stay ahead of Esteban Ocon, that's all I ask. And he is getting close. We've used all our battery, but down in towards turn 1, ran out of battery in time, just enough to defend from Pierre Gasly. If this was Mexico, we would have been eaten alive. Lap 13, you really see the cards come into play now. Max Verstappen, who's already had to pit. I don't know if that's wing damage or he's doing a 2-stop. He's onto another pair of mediums. I'm going to guess a 2-stop. He is battling us here down in towards turn 1, and we would usually let a faster car through. There's no point battling with Verstappen, but we have a battle for P10 on the line. After Verstappen overtakes us, it will be P10. And we do get ahead of Pierre Gasly, so P down for the time being, it'll be P10 once Verstappen gets by us. Around turn 4 again. So Lance Stroll's now the driver to beat, 1.1 seconds ahead, lap 13.35, and we are into the top 10. And here goes Max Verstappen. We'll try and move to the right hand side and make it easy for him, but he decided to make it a little bit harder. That man likes a challenge. And he is doing an extra pit stop for a reason. He wants a challenge in Hungarian Grand Prix, and he's got just that. So life more difficult for Verstappen. He had to overtake Gasly as well as us in a different order to what he was expecting. Now we choose to box. We can see the rear tyres are starting to give out. We're starting to lose a lot more grip than we would have liked. And Verstappen right in the back of Lance Stroll there. But we're just struggling to keep up. These mediums are not working to their full capability. So at the end of lap 15, we come into the pit lane, no one else coming to join us. We pitted our lap early, and then maybe an undercut on Lance Stroll is coming out here. And there you see, we were supposed to have a pit on the next lap. We couldn't hold on for one more lap here. There was going to be a spin sooner rather than later on them rear tyres. And we're absolutely melted, I'm sure. Into pit lane, 2.5. Pit box, sorry, pit lane. Now we're in the pit lane. Now we're leaving the pits. We're down into last place. Just above a second behind Behrman. And we have DRS as well. We're in the faster car. We are the faster driver compared to Ollie Behrman. And at the end of lap 16, we do get ahead of Ollie Behrman. Down at that old so familiar corner. Seems to be a habit to overtake down there. And we've made it quite a habit. And Hadjar comes into the pits now, so that will be P20 for us. As Gatwick Water, this was a lovely drift out the final corner. And that's given us just the run we needed. And that looks like it should be P19. It is P17, P16. There's a lot more drivers pit, including Mercedes of George Russell, who have all started last and struggled to get through the DRS train, which we are now leading. Bortoletto, Behrman and Stroll all in it as well. Bortoletto and Behrman. Remember, Saubers and Hasses taking the hard tyres along with the Alpine, which he's doing as well on the hard tyres ahead of Piastri, and he's probably going to make life difficult on him. There's a little bit of a train going on. It's not just doing now. As we have a couple more pitters, and we have Fernando Alonso right in front of us, and now he's right behind us, and down in towards turn 1 we are wheel to wheel, and we are ahead of Fernando Alonso, but for how long are we going to manage to do it? And look how much time we've already gained on Oscar Piastri as well with doing, and I think that's a Sauber ahead of him, which I can only assume is Nico Hulkenberg, assuming Bortoletto is behind us. The P12 for the time being, and after Hulkenberg and doing Duper, I'm sure that'll be a nice and easy top 10, or will it? Fernando Alonso has decided to take our position. And there you see it now, Hulkenberg, Doohan, Piastri, and then it's us two just a bit behind. But in this battle nonetheless. Those were Hassan and Alpine way up the road in the P7 and P6. So we're actually looking at P9, P8, something like that, and the corner we're way too familiar with at this point. Should I even mention it at this point? We get past Fernando Alonso at the same corner. So that is now P12 for us, and Nico Hulkenberg decides this is the time to pit. We're losing too much time, we're holding up too much of the pack. This is the time. to switch out to the medium tyres. Lap 20 of 35, and Ocon decided to pit as well, and Pierre Gasly. So this is now P9 on lap 20. Piastri ran the outside of Doohan. We tried to join him on that, we couldn't quite do it. So Piastri's got free rein ahead of him, with Jack Doohan now behind him, and we get Jack Doohan behind us. Down at turn 2, where we went down the inside. So now we're hoping with Fernando Alonso, who is the faster driver, and his hard tyres are a lap fresher than ours. Maybe Fernando Alonso could catch up with us, so using Doohan to our advantage is definitely good there. You can see that 3-second gap between us now, and there's yellow flags down here. There's a car to the left hand side. Who's blew up? It is Charles Leclerc, who is out of this race. And still keeping Piastri in our track, so for the time being we're in P7, we're right in the back of P6 as well, and P8 is 3.5 seconds behind us, so we're doing pretty well for the time being. Verstappen on lap 25, who came for another pit stop, gets back ahead of us, so back to P7 for us. But maybe we can use Verstappen to our advantage and keep on chasing down Oscar Piastri. Fernando Alonso's closed down the gap a little bit behind us. So it's just a nice easy race for the time being. There's no one really near us that should concern us. Fernando Alonso's too far behind, Oscar Piastri too far ahead, and Verstappen's just way too quick. And Verstappen, I'm going to guess, did get ahead of Oscar Piastri. Yes, he did. He's now about 8 seconds up the road. Jesus Christ. But Antonelli has actually been the one holding up Oscar Piastri, and down into turn 1, Piastri and Antonelli are going to go wheel to wheel here. Is there somewhere we could try and slip in and maybe get a top 5 or 6th place or something like that? Some crazy points would be really badly. Lose the rear of the car, but we keep it on track. And we're staying right on the back of this Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli. Lap 34 of 35. Oscar Piastri's P5, Antonelli's P6, and we're P7. And just look at how close we all are. Just once again, really struggling on these tyres. If this was a 100% race, I definitely would have pitted there, because we are struggling to keep this car under control. Coming down towards turn 1 on the final lap here, Kimi Antonelli is right there. It's not quite in dive bomb distance, but he is there. And that is the important thing to note. We're trying to keep as far to the right hand side on that little kink as possible. We're going to dart over to the left through braking zone of turn 2. Around turn 3, we're just trying to keep it as fast as possible as we get onto the curb a little bit, and that might be Kimi Antonelli able to run away. Not quite, we go a little bit wide at turn 4. But look, Kimi Antonelli is just right there, and we lose the rear again. This time around turn 5, and maybe now Kimi Antonelli can say he's run away. As we come out of turn 7 and into turn 8, and he's already right back there. Maybe the dirty air from Piastri holds him back a little. Kimi Antonelli, he's struggling here, and if we had one more lap we definitely would have got ahead of him. If we don't make the move here, which we're being way too familiar with, we cannot get the move on Kimi Antonelli there. So Lewis Hamilton, all too familiar with this track, has won. McLaren of Lando Norris is in P2, and either Verstappen or Tsunoda, I'm not sure which one, is in P3. And then the other Red Bull in P4, Piastri P5, Antonelli P6, and we are P7 with Jack Crawford. What a race. And we get driver of the day as well. Pretty good race from us, from P18 on the grid. 11 places made. And with only one DNF, that does sound sort of impossible, and something that George Russell couldn't do from 22nd. I don't think he got points in this race. We're going to have to double check that, but really good race from us there, and it's Yuki Tsunoda who got the final podium slot. But the man all too familiar with winning at Hungary, but this time he's done it in scarlet red. The Scuderia back on the top step of the podium, and who else but Lewis Hamilton to take him there. Lando Norris, who is in a championship fight, I believe, P2, and Yuki Tsunoda P3. Is a good race from him, considering how he did in real life at Red Bull.
Celebrating a masterful victory.
Who are them people up there? But yeah, good race. Definitely better than I was expecting, because in fact we're talking about Hungary. I am not good at Hungary.
When we come back with more Formula 1.
George Russell I don't think did get any points, but Richard Verschoor P8, Jack Crawford is now P11, and we move up to P5. We didn't move up, but something was made. George Russell did get P9 in the end, so he did get points, but not as good as us. So now we move on to the season break, but first we get the sped up time of the R&D screen a lot. And maybe some factory upgrades. Then we have our first meeting with Richard Verschoor, who came in for second half meeting. What does he want out of this second half of the season? Team performance clause, none. Great. Driver's expectations, 6th in the performance ranking. Fan rating of 2 and an engineering force of 177. Performance clause was removed, annual salary request reduced by 5%, and a chance of increase by 10%. Richard Verschoor has definitely been good for us so far in his career mode. He has the win at Belgium. Now have to do the same with Jack Crawford.
I'll be honest.
What does Jack Crawford want from us is the question. I don't think he's going to want anything too different from Richard Verschoor. Of course, being the worst, not the worst, but the badder driver of the two. We didn't actually get to see the difference. So now we get to move back on. Now we get to set our activities up for the next week at Netherlands. And
okay, boss. Got an interesting
I'm
bit of
sorry.
news for you. We've had a driver reach out to us to ask if we'd be interested in a preliminary
The man
chat
who I
with them
said was in a
about
championship fight
possibilities for next season.
is asking to
You can
join
always
us.
say no if you're not interested.
Lando Norris has shown interest in joining our team for the next season and has asked if he'd be willing to start talks with them. Lando Norris is apparently in our scopes to sign. What a day.
Okay, I've said yes for now.
So what does Lando Norris want from us then? Engineer force of 388, fan rating of 6 and vehicle performance ranking of 3rd. And his annual salary would be 30 million with a signing bonus of 4 million. And performance clause is 10 top 10 finishes as a team with a fine of 2 million towards Lando if we don't get 10 top 10s as a team. It should be easy. We are getting regular points at this moment. And Silverstone was the last time we didn't get points, and we got a win and a 1-2 in the sprint at Belgium. And once again 7th in Hungary. So I'd say top 10 is achievable in 10 different races. I think we've already done that. So I'm sure we'll be seeing Lando in Season 2 if there is a Season 2, because this is taking quite a while to get through just the first season. We've only just reached summer break, and already in the next season of F1 in real life has started. Good to see cost cap is going good. And back onto the R&D screen. Oh, we got a new sponsor as well. So now we get to move on to the Dutch Grand Prix. If you caught the stream that I did a couple of days ago, you would have seen that we got a lot of practice at the Netherlands. So I'm sure I'll be quick at that. And we'll be racing as the home man, Richard Verschoor, at the Dutch Grand Prix. I hope we're racing as Jack Crawford at the US Grand Prix as well then. But yeah, we're going to the next race, which does signify the end of this video. If you did enjoy, like, comment, say your favourite moment. I'm sure it will be diving down at turn whatever number, about 8 times on many different drivers. But yeah, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, recommend me to others. You don't see YouTubers at this level being this committed to career modes. Bro, who am I, Arav? Team at Marduk? Like, come on, bro. But yeah, that is the end of this video. Thank you everyone for watching, and that is going to be au revoir, goodbye from me.